Shadow of the Dream, and we are here with Marvel's Wolverine, a preview from IGN. Let's check it out. At 3, 2, 1.
If Insomniac has proved anything over the last 8 years, it's that they know how to make a hell of a superhero game. Spider-Man remains one of the PlayStation 4's defining action games, and a shining example of open world design, as are both of its follow-ups. Now they're looking to replicate that magic with Wolverine, albeit this time as a traditional, linear AAA action game. I got to play about 2.5 hours at a recent preview event, and while my impressions are mostly glowingly positive, I did come away with a few questions and concerns.
Make this quick! It's been 48 hours since Essex was captured. We may already be too late.
Right from the start of my demo, it was very clear that this is a very different kind of Wolverine story than what I was used to. The X-Men haven't been formed yet. Wolverine, Sabretooth, and Mystique are all buds and part of a 3-person task force known as Team X, and they're all led by a not yet sinister-looking man named Nathaniel Essex, who also serves as their mentor and someone looking to help mutants everywhere. That puts them in direct opposition with the mutant-hating Boulevard Trask. And the very first mission of the game has Team X setting out to rescue their mentor from his clutches. It didn't take long after picking up the controller for me to pop out my claws, leap 20 feet towards the poor sap, and ventilate his body with 6 holes. My first reaction to the combat in Wolverine was very simply, yeah, this is exactly what I want a Wolverine game to feel like. Combat is fast, vicious, and brutal, even if it is fundamentally similar to what Insomniac has already done with Spider-Man. Brutal, even if it is fundamentally similar to what Insomniac has already done with Spider-Man.
Goddamn ads, bro. Ads.
Much like how Spider-Man was able to zip around the battlefield with his webs, Logan can use a gap-closing leap attack to instantly get right up in the face of an enemy, and then proceed to shred them up with a basic melee claw combo, or a powerful kick that can break shields and knock enemies back. That kick ends up being one of the most defining aspects of Wolverine's combat, as you can use it to both knock enemies off cliffs or into walls, and once they're stunned against a wall, you can utilize a highly damaging barrage attack that will generally defeat an enemy right away. On the defensive side, Wolverine is a parry-driven game, so you'll always need to have your finger hovering over that L1 button, ready to press it on a split second's notice. His enemies do not wait around for their turn. They are very aggressive, and while the fodder baddies can be dispatched fairly easily, most of the cybernetically enhanced ones have very sturdy defenses that strongly encourage you to parry their attacks in order to open them up. Wolverine also has access to a variety of special moves by holding down L2 and pressing a face button, which are generally reserved for stronger attacks that either do big single target damage, deal damage spread out over an area around Wolverine, grant him a limited time buff, etc. These special moves are all tied to individual cooldowns rather than a resource that builds up over the course of combat. The one resource that you do have to keep an eye on is Wolverine's Rage, which is gained simply by dealing damage and killing enemies, but slowly diminishes when you're not actively slicing and dicing. It's a mechanic meant to encourage all-out aggression, which feels very on-brand for Wolverine. There are 3 tiers of Rage that you can unlock by filling up the meter. The first tier is by default and doesn't really come with any benefits. Once you reach tier 2 though, you gain extra damage on your combo finishers, and most importantly, you're able to go into last stand when you lose all of your health. This was a neat way to incorporate Logan's healing factor into the combat design by making it so that as long as Wolverine has a bar of rage in the tank, he can essentially come back from the dead, trading in his rage meter for health. If he goes down without a full bar of rage to spare though, it's game over and back to the last checkpoint for you. At rage tier 3 though is where the party starts. Once he hits that rage threshold, the background turns gray, the enemies get highlighted in red, and all of Wolverine's attacks do dramatically increase damage, with most weaker enemies being executable immediately. This lets you throw caution to the wind and just tear apart entire groups of enemies in quick order. It is quite simply the epitome of the Wolverine power fantasy.
This looks cool.
My overall impression of combat based on what I played is that it's all fundamentally sound, very satisfying, and does a great job of evoking the spirit of Wolverine. But at the same time, it felt like it was missing an element of creativity that I always look for in an action game. One of the joys of Spider-Man's combat, for example, was all the fun things that you can do that weren't necessarily the optimal way of clearing out a combat encounter, but allowed you to break away from the monotony of just punch, parry, etc. You could bounce off walls, mantle over enemies, slide under them, web them up, yank away their weapons, swing them around, launch them up for an air combo, knock them away, pull them back, etc. Wolverine mostly just angrily stabs things. And while he is the best there is at what he does, I did wish that what he does offered a bit more variety.
We don't need you, Grunt.
Oh no.
Never did.
I think
Now, to be fair,
has,
there are some
Spider-Man
fun
2
ways that
problem.
Insomniac encourages you to use the environment to your advantage, like kicking an enemy into a forklift is always a good time. And there are occasional team-ups that organically feature combination attacks between you and your partner, much like what was seen in Spider-Man 2 and Miles Morales. But on a base level, I do have some concerns about how Wolverine's combat will remain engaging throughout the entire campaign. It's certainly possible for that depth to be uncovered as I get deeper into the game. There is, after all, a skill tree with a variety of techniques and special moves that I only really scratched the surface of, along with adaptation points that can be spent on a variety of character upgrades. My hope is that those later upgrades and skills add some extra flavor to Wolverine's combat and aren't just more powerful techniques that scale his strength to meet the increased difficulty of later enemies and bosses. Interestingly, the thing that impressed me the most about Wolverine was actually the direction of the story. You've got Wolverine on a team with Mystique and Sabretooth during a time before the forming of the X-Men, with the addition of Jean Grey and Nathaniel Essex as two people that are very important to Wolverine, but also have two very different worldviews. These are all very combustible elements in play, and I'm excited to see where it all goes. Doubly so due to the fact that it's written by Walt Williams of Spec Ops: The Line fame, who is one of the best video game writers in the business. Thus far, the performances have been excellent as well. Liam McIntyre's portrayal of Wolverine is very grounded and paints the picture of a man bottling up a lot of anger and pain, but still has that rough edge and ruthless aggression that fans expect from the character.
No way.
You gotta talk to Essex.
I only got to see a little bit of Troy Baker's Nathaniel Essex, but so far, it's shaping up to be yet another memorable and nuanced performance in his stacked resume.
What?
I got to see different sides of both Mystique and Sabretooth than what I'm used to,
But you ain't ever coming back.
and I'm very much looking forward to seeing where Nicole Pacent and Brett Gibson take their respective characters.
You find Essex yet?
Oh, I found something, all right.
While much of the demo was spent with Wolverine snarling, growling, and prowling as he found new baddies to stick his claws into, there was one notable section that was much more quiet and subdued, and actually ended up being my favorite stretch of gameplay. In it, Wolverine wanders through Lowtown, which is a bit of a safe haven for mutants to congregate. I was able to strike up conversations with fellow mutants, engage in some not-so-friendly arm wrestling with Sabretooth, play a revealing game of Never Have I Ever with Mystique, and even find a handful of Easter eggs tucked away. It was a welcome reprieve from all the action, and I hope that there are more moments like this where I get to learn more about the characters that inhabit the world.
I just needed some space.
I mean, moments of
Everything.
characters' interaction is always great. I mean, if the characters are good and they write
Overall, I walked away from my time with Wolverine impressed, but not thoroughly blown away. It's clear that Insomniac is still holding a lot of cards close to its chest with regards to the story, and that's the element that has proved to be the most interesting to me so far. Combat absolutely nails the spirit of Wolverine and is very fundamentally sound, but leaves me with some questions as to how it will hold up over the course of the entire campaign. We'll see how it all pans out when Wolverine releases on PlayStation 5 on September 15th. For more recent previews, make sure to check out our IGN First coverage of Control Resonant. And for everything else, keep it here on IGN.
So when it comes to the gameplay, I think the Wolverine has a problem of feeling like a Spider-Man 2. And when it comes to the gameplay of Spider-Man 2, it's not that it's bad. It's not that it's bad at all, because I mean it's basically the same gameplay of the first game, Spider-Man 2018, which was a masterpiece in my opinion. It was a great game. the problem with the sequel, and I guess you have this problem as well with Ghosts of Yotei and of course Ragnarok, is that you don't have much difference on the gameplay side of things. I mean, yeah, you have some few things new here and there, new mechanics, but not something crazy. Like, you don't have like a mechanic that is so cool to use that it makes you like, it makes you remember the gameplay of this specific sequel like so crazy. Like, of course, you have like obviously the first God of War 2018. You have the X and the Leviathan X and the Troll and the whole bring back the X and all that kind of stuff, which at first time it was amazing. And then you come to Ragnarok, like you already used to that. Like, it's good. Like, you already used to that, but you don't have much changes besides that spear that you get close to the end of the game. Now, that spear that Kratos get is basically, I think it's its only new weapon. And even though that it's pretty damn good, I think the spear is a really damn good weapon. You don't get much difference out of that. Like, you don't get more difference in the gameplay out of that. Of course, you have new tools, amulets, and stuff that does different things, but when it comes to the new aspects of the things that differentiate this gameplay from the other game and all that kind of stuff, you don't have much of a difference to say like, man, this gameplay is actually different. And also, I mean, of course it's better, but it's not like mind-blowing different. And now, of course, it's not that we are asking for you to reinvent the whole gameplay aspect. I mean, you can do that without spending like 5+ years. But when it comes to a Wolverine, like, I mean, I want to see some different shit, you know, some actually cool different stuff of Wolverine using its abilities for its own thing. Now, granted, it's not the same gameplay, it's the exact same, but like, when it comes to the difference, that's what I'm kind of worried about. Like, what's gonna make this game as different of just pressing X, square, triangle, or square, or triangle, or what makes different, you know? So yeah, man, like, I think when it comes to the story, it's gonna be interesting if this story is gonna be good or not, but at least when it comes to the technical aspects of the story, like, it seems a pretty high budget game, and that's what I'm looking for the most part. And when it comes to the gameplay, I hope that the gameplay keeps interesting all the way through, because this is a single player game. And what helps you a lot with a single player game to beginning to end is how much of gameplay, combat, and sandbox style of gameplay that this game offers for you. Because you have the Devil May Cry, which is of course, big example of a gameplay that offers you a lot when it comes to its gameplay, and it never gets boring. Like, when you come back to this game, like, you remember, oh, I remember why I love this game. So yeah, I hope Wolverine does that, which gives you a reason to come back to its gameplay and doesn't feel repetitive, just like Spider-Man did on the second game. But of course, you still come back to the game because of it's timeless. I mean, that game basically has the perfect swimming mechanic of the whole Spider-Man games. So yeah, I hope this game is good. I mean, it looks good, but I hope it's more than good. I hope it blows my expectations, but I mean, my expectations are not exactly high, but they are decently, you know, they're in the middle, they're decent. Anyway, ladies and gents, shut off the dream, and I'm out.